Welcome back to the Builder class. Today we're going to be talking about the I in build, the part 1 of the invent phase. If you missed last week's, please just go to the first post on my blog and you can read that and come up to speed, but I think it's very necessary that you know the 2 before the state. Let's go. And so, you know how in the B and the U parts I had sections in brackets where I said read this out loud to yourself? Great. So since this is a video, you're going to have to say this out loud after me to yourselves. I engage in a repetitive, human-centered, creative process of identifying and anticipating needs and rapidly inventing and testing possible solutions. So the goal at this stage of the build model is to try and fail several times. And so yes, at this stage we try and we fail, and so we try again. It's very important that you fail forward, that your failure is more of a stepping stone than a stumbling block. This is an innovation hub that will force you to get used to failing. So there's no problem if you find yourself repeatedly coming back to this stage. It's very normal. And this is the stage where you throw logic out of the window to try and find groundbreaking solutions that may not even look sensible at the time you're writing them. Again, I'll need you to say this after me. I may not get it right the first time, or the second, or the third, but that is the point of this exercise, to keep going until I get it right. Whenever I think I've figured it out, I realize I haven't. I'll have to come back to this stage, do it again. It's a repetitive process. One word I want you to take away from this class today is that the process is repetitive. And so there's nothing wrong with coming back to this point. It's okay. I once listened to a professor who talked about how she once gave her students an assignment, telling them to come up with 1,000 uses of a goldfish. 1,000 uses of a goldfish. And a lot of her students thought it was a mistake, writing to her saying, hey, we think you made a mistake here, it was supposed to be 10, it was supposed to be 100. She's like, no, I want 1,000 uses. And she explained to us that it's only when she asks for such a high number that she knows she'll come across ideas that are outside of the box. True to her word, after the first 10, she started getting really interesting ones, like a goldfish solo concert, an open snow globe, even a curtain tie back. Like I said, it's wild when you first write these things, but that is the goal. You throw logic out the window so that you can come up with groundbreaking ideas. I find it very difficult when I'm supposed to think about something and I'm told, hey, think outside the box, because I'm inside the box. How am I supposed to just suddenly get outside and think outside of it? But that's why it's okay that your first few or even many ideas would come across as being inside the box, because to get outside of the box, you need to open it from inside. That's why the professor asked for 1,000, because it's only when you've exhausted what is within your scope that you can actually start finding things that you probably haven't thought about before or you never naturally think about. When we are forced to exhaust all the logical and rational ideas in our minds, then, only then, are we able to think outside the box. I like to do this stage personally with a ton of sticky notes. I get a lot of sticky notes. I get a big cardboard. Ideally, if the goal here is to solve a problem first, then this is the one time you're allowed to think beyond your abilities and your capabilities. Because there's a lot of things I cannot do, and you would usually end up executing with a team of other competent people. I would advise that you don't think, oh my God, how am I going to do that? No, that's not for now. This is the first part of the invent phase. The goal is to lift every possible boundary of your mind and just sink into like a mental state of endless possibilities. Remember, this is not the time for logic and rational. Thank you very much for listening to today's class. I'll see you again next week for the part 2 of the invent stage. Bye.